Okay, so the question here for slide 2, are there any test methodologies that you've used that weren't mentioned here? And what benefits did you get with those? So I took a DevOps class in JHU. Sadly, I'm in a small development team. We don't even have a CI/CD pipeline. It's just, we have, common issue tracking and stuff like that, just not like the whole um, not the whole pipeline. So there's dynamic application security testing that I learned in the DevOps class, or DAST or DAST. And we used OWASP Zap for testing the applications. I've talked with my dad. He's also a software engineer, and he says that they need to use some like dynamic application security testing, or that there's some sort of requirements when he has to give code to certain clients. They have their own requirements, and it's cool that Zap is just this. It's penetration testing software, but you can also run automated scans on your production or dev servers to just see if there's something broken with or insecure with how you've actually deployed it. And then, so we touched on something similar with Stig. I'd never heard of it before, but it kind of tells you like basically a checklist of how to go and make sure you have used certain technologies correctly, and you run down the chain and be like, hey, is this good? Is this bad? Have we done this correctly? Have we not? But then there's also some tools where you can just scan your code. And some of it is like IDE based. Like if you're going to use a linter or something, you can actually just automatically force your code to be in a certain format, basically, so that it's more easily readable. Or there's so there's all other static code analysis tools. So SonarQube is pretty good for scanning your code. So you write code, you run it through SonarQube. It'll tell you if there's like some things that you're doing like that. It might be really like in depth too. I can't remember, but it might tell you about where there's like memory issues, or if there's some deprecated functions that you're using and stuff like that. And then there's Sneak, which is really good for dependency analysis. So you have so many dependencies. Oh my god, if you've ever used like Node.js and you see the Node modules folder and it's like 27 gigabytes of just malware, Sneak is going to go through and like tell you exactly like, oh, okay, well, you've got some dependencies that are in like critical security, issues. Like you should update those, or sometimes the production stuff is also just broken. You kind of have to like, maybe that's something you want to know is like, well, my dependencies are broken, but maybe I can just have some wrappers and edge cases and stuff to try and not trigger those. But yeah, so in the DevOps and secure software development course, I was like really surprised at how many of these security and testing things you can have into a CI/CD pipeline. Like we already know that unit tests can be part of your CI/CD pipeline. You put it up and then it'll just automatically test, and if it checks out, then it goes through. But even like the whole process, all the way from your static code analysis, linting is part of that. Like how clear your code is just written, even if it's all correct, it might not be in the right format, right? And then, you can put it up to your server and still scan it. And all of these are really, really great testing methodologies.